Hey guys, Rich Lopez with the Drop Time Traditions podcast. My guests this evening are Earl and Kip Cowher. Did I say the last name correctly?
Yeah, we just say cower.
Cowher, okay.
Yep.
Um, from
Car.
from Pennsylvania. Um, but before we begin, I want to just acknowledge our supporters: Stickbow Country Custom Arrows, Traps Feather Rests, Traditional Bowhunter Magazine, above all, Sauk Trail Archery, StickbowSupplies.com, and Whiskey City Trad Gear, Jessie Savage Blacksmith.com, TraditionalJunk.com, Kevin Bishop. If you want an old bow, reach out to him. St. Joe River Bow Company, TheEthicalPredator.com, and StickbowSuppliesMX.com, of which we saw at the PBS banquet, what, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Now, did you
Yeah.
guys drive there or did you fly?
We drove there. It was about 6 hour drive.
That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. So, have you always been a PA resident?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So you've been to
Living in the same
ETAR.
house since 1969, basically.
Okay. So you've been to ETAR.
Oh yeah. Yeah, plenty.
Now, do you guys go to the Baltimore shoot at all?
No, I've never been there.
Okay. You should
I
check it
went
out.
to Etar back when it was Denton Hill
Right.
in the 90s, and then I started working at a power plant and I couldn't bow hunt for several years. And we went there a few times in the early. I got a nice picture of my youngest son with um, Jerry Brum and Rick Shepard, which is kind of cool. I think that was like '04. And then it was probably 2020, I think, when we got back to Ski Sawmill, right about when COVID hit, I think. Whatever year that was, first year back. And matter of fact, Kip and I have been working the PBS booth there the last, I think, 3 years. So that's probably the most fun thing about the whole ETAR for us.
Yeah, I've not been to the new facility or the new grounds, if you will. Now here in Florida, that's fine. But all my buddies want to spend 8 to 10 days there. I'm like, my God, that's
Yeah.
a long time to spend with people, especially
Yeah.
with one or two showers in the middle. You
Yeah.
know,
Well,
it's
they have
it's
decent shower facilities there. You can shower every day.
okay. That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, my buddies telling me the best time is the middle of the night when nobody's around.
Yeah.
So
Probably.
Yeah. You see
yeah,
some lines down there.
yeah, I don't want that. Uh, but at any rate, so give me both of you your bios backgrounds. Who wants to go first? Ladies first.
Oh, you put me on a spot. I don't know. I grew up on a farm, met him when I was a teenager, and it'll be actually 43 years tomorrow. That was our first date, and April Fools. And and I've been a mom and a wife for the last 39 years and have three great sons. And, we shot archery early when the kids were really little. He carried two of them on the backpack while we were shooting 3D shoots and things like that. And we kind of let it go and raised the kids. He went to work and got back into it. So,
That's awesome. Next month, actually, April 6th, my wife and I will be celebrating our 30th anniversary married, but we dated for 10 years. So I got a 40-year window here.
There you go.
So, longevity is awesome. And this is my
Yeah.
second, that's my second trip around the sun. So
Yeah. Yeah.
for
She
both,
got you used, huh?
yeah, big time. Vice versa, vice versa. Yeah, but no regrets, no regrets. She doesn't shoot archery. I took her hunting once. She comes from a hunting family. She just didn't gravitate to it. She'd rather just watch me have fun.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you know,
Western Pennsylvania deer season is a religion.
yeah.
oh, it
And
is.
their family has a 500-acre farm, and it is a big event, deer season. And everybody rifle hunts. And
Mhm.
when I started bow hunting back, I don't know what it was, probably like 1990.
Yeah, right
Um,
there.
I was a gun fanatic. I'm still a gun fanatic. Um, but I just I started shooting longbows, and it's just that's everything, you know what I mean? Got pretty wrapped up in it.
Yeah, I'm a
And she
two-season
never
hunter.
hunted at all.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
still rifle hunt. I mean, I'll go out if I don't feel a buck tag. I'll go out. It's kind of like you need to, it's a family thing, and
Sure.
but it's just not the same. And a few years ago in 2024, we went to Africa, and she had no intention of hunting, but she was watching it and looked like a lot of fun. and we didn't have. I'm a left-handed guy, so
Oh my.
she didn't have anything to shoot, and she got the itch. So they had a vertical crossbow in camp, and she said, "Would you be mad if I used that thing?" I said, "No, you can use that thing." And she practiced with it until she got very proficient, and she killed a zebra. And now she's got the fever. She said, "When we get home, I got to get a heavy enough bow to hunt with." So the next, I was a week or two after.
It was like 6 days later, we went to Etar and we were looking around and we went to Bear and they had a takedown. And like the first two shots out of it were 11s. So I turned around, looked at him, that's the one.
Yeah.
So Kip, let me ask you a question because I'm a huge bear archery collector. I've had thousands of bear bows, and I hunt exclusively with the bear takedown. What was it about the takedown that made it feel good for you in the hand?
I like the weight of the riser,
It was a
actually.
mag riser.
Yeah, it's a mag
Mm.
riser. I like the weight in my hand. And, yeah,
So
I
so is it a
use
mass
handle
weight versus a wooden handle? Is it heavier?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Got a nice grip size for you.
It does.
Fits her hand
Nice.
well.
Okay. And was that the just standard camo? Right, B
No,
right?
just a green, just green.
Okay. So it wasn't a Fred Eichler skeletal or anything like that.
Nah.
No.
No.
Well, how many pounds?
Shoot 42 pounds now.
That'll kill anything pretty much, as long as you got a sharp, heavy broadhead.
Oh
It
yeah.
works.
She killed two blaze bucks. This year she hunted with a recurve that we went to Hercules Oliver safaris, and she hunted with her bear recurve, and she had a set of 45-pound limbs, and she draws like a little under 26 inches, so it come right at like 41 pounds,
Hmm.
a little over 41, and she was shooting 28-inch 700 spine safari tough cobras with
Wow.
grizzly 200 grain broadheads.
Oh my God. Out of 41 pounds? Woo.
Yeah.
And buddy, she laced straight through everything she shot. I mean, those animals weren't even, those arrows only weighed 430 grains, and they did not even slow them arrows down. She was through them and then buried in the dirt every
Well,
time.
you showed me the videos at the PBS gathering, and I was like, oh
Yeah,
my God. It was like knife through butter. Hot knife
yeah,
through
Yeah.
butter.
yeah.
That's
A lot to
awesome.
be said for sharp. That little sucker's fast. We chronoed a bunch of custom bows there's a club, Possum Hollow Archers, near here.
Mhm.
And we got together Monday nights. Well, we did in the wintertime. We're done down there now. But um, a friend bought a Garmin chronograph, and we all chronographed all our bows.
Mhm.
And that little bear was the fastest one out of all the centaurs and black widows and tolkies and you name it. That little bear was the fastest bow by like 5 or 6 feet per second. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
and that's 36-pound limbs.
Yeah, they're
So
making some they're making some good stuff over there. They get a bad rap online because everybody likes to cry. So but I'm
that
only
Neil Bice and Smokey Musgrave, I think his last name is.
yeah.
They took care of us, man. They were super nice. So yeah, there's nothing bad to be said about them as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
I
they're an
just had
hour.
Kevin. I bought a set of 75-pound
Oh
limbs
yeah,
off of
we
Kevin
talked about
there,
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I just checked them here, and at my draw length, they're 82 pounds.
Wow.
So Randy Cooling gave me one of his Black Death 200 spine arrows, and with a 300 grain point on it, it flies pretty decent and weighs 900 grains. So we're going back next year now. We're going back with Hercules Oliver. And we had so much fun there. If you never go, remember that name because let me tell you, it was an absolute blast. And
Well,
they were trying to talk me into shooting a buffalo, and I just didn't want to spend it. Well, like I really want to
oh
shoot a
yeah,
buffalo.
me too. But I have no room. Where am I going to put this thing? It's like the size of a
Yeah,
garage.
yeah,
You know.
We could be
Actually, this
focused
when I was at PBS, I'm hanging out with some old buddies and stuff. Hey, what are you doing next year? I said, well, I'm retiring. He goes, well, guess what? You're going to Africa. I'm like, really? He goes, 7 grand will get you there, flight and everything. It's just the animal heads. That's a whole nother ball game. I could
yeah.
do
We'll have
your
to.
I could do European mounts. I cannot do a full, heads and stuff. I don't have any room.
Who are you going with? You know, there's nobody you want to mention.
I don't know yet. I'm still working out the
Let
logistics.
me we'll give you some information. We don't need to tie it up on the call, but we can hook you up.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
send me some links
Yeah.
and we'll go from there. So Earl, you still working?
Oh yeah. Yep.
What
I
do you
was
do
going to
for?
retire about a year ago.
Mhm.
Then we went to Africa.
Yeah.
Now we're going back. So guess what? I'm still working.
I'm looking to retire in August, but then again, I'm looking at Europe next year with the wife and other
Yeah.
things that we want to do. And I was like, you know something? I could do my job standing on my head. And
Yeah.
I have these other guys that I and guys and gals that I know that retired and they're like, well, you're gonna lose money. How am I gonna lose money? I'm making X amount of dollars. That's income, bro. And I'm still getting
Yeah.
a tax return every year. Because in Florida,
Yeah.
there's no state tax.
The state tax.
Yeah. Don't
It's
get
a
her
win.
started on taxes.
No,
She does taxes.
Did taxes for about 6 years. This is the first year I hadn't gone back. So,
okay, I got you. I got you. So you're an accountant then, Kip.
no, just tax preparer, just
Okay.
taxes.
I just got mine done today, actually. And she sent me an email, so I just all auto sign and be done with it, which
Yeah.
is fine. Which is fine. So we talked about PA, you're native. Now, how were you introduced, Earl, into archery as a kid?
I never was as a kid.
Oh, really?
My dad
Okay.
thought that was the dumbest thing he'd ever heard of. They invented rifles 500 years ago. What do you want with one of those dumbass things, you know?
Hmm.
I was shooting very actively competitive. I shot pistol silhouette, handgun silhouette when we got married. And I practiced every day. And when she got pregnant, I thought, boy, I can't be shooting a Magnum handgun outside the house every day with a baby in the house. So a friend of mine was into bow hunting. His name is John Book. And we both got laid off. I was an engine mechanic for Cummins Engine Company. And he was a carpenter. And we both got laid off at the same time. And he talked me into finding a used compound. And we just got shooting and shooting and shooting. It was a ridiculously heavy compound. And but I was a diesel mechanic, you know, I torqued head bolts and main bearings all day and I could just break a bow in half, you know. So I got this crazy heavy bow and we shot really good. And I hunted with it for a little while. Then we went to a 3D shoot and I watched a couple guys. One guy had a Brackenberry, another guy had a Wapiti, I think it was a JK Chastain bow.
Hmm.
A couple guys had widows, and we got behind them, and I looked, and I said, "Boy, that is where it's at." And then we went to a sportsman's club, and Stacy Groscup was shooting.
Oh,
You
yeah.
remember Stacy?
Oh, yeah.
And I was just impressed as could be with that, you know. And I thought, this is what I need to be doing. And so I got the name of his bowyer, which was Bob Thompson from Zipper, and I ordered a Zipper. I tried to buy he says, how heavy you want? I said, I don't know, probably about 80 pounds. He says, no, I'm not building you an 80-pound bow. Well, I was down at his house shooting and he had one. It was 82 pounds. And I said, I was shooting it. I'm like, yeah, I like this one. He goes, don't do it. Don't, that's the dumbest thing. He said, let me build you a 50. I said, I want a 50-pound. What am I going to hunt rabbits? You know, and he's like, no, you don't need any more than 50. And that's what Stacy said.
Hmm.
I talked him. He stopped at, he wouldn't build me a 65. So I ordered a 64-pound. And I killed half a dozen deer with that. And then I rebuilt an engine, a Volkswagen diesel for a friend of mine. Well, he wasn't my friend yet. He became my friend after that. He didn't have any money, but he could build me a bow out of anything. He said, I can build you a bow out of anything. I had a rotten old fence post in the bed of my truck that my dad put in the ground probably in 1969, you know. I said, build one out of there. He goes, that thing's rotten. I said, that's why I pulled it out of the ground. He said, he goes, I can't build a bow out of that. I said, hey, you chirped. You said anything. That's something. Build me a bow out of that.
Well, you could
It
stabilize
was
that.
a,
Yeah.
it was a black locust bow, and he
Hmm.
cut laminations out of it. And I call that bow Old Yeller. He made a 63 at 27, but I draw 29. And I think I've killed 50, at least 50 deer with that bow. I love
Hmm.
that thing. And still have it. I don't hunt with it anymore, but I still have it.
That's awesome.
So that's how I got into it.
That's awesome. I mean,
I've met
that,
M.R. James in, I think it was in 93 down in Wheeling. They had the NRA Great American Hunters Tour in Wheeling. And I met M.R. James and
I
they were
was
having
there.
seminars on tuning your bows compound. And I was just out talking to M.R. He goes, how come you're not in a seminar? I said, well, I shoot a longbow. I don't care about cam timing and crap like that. And he goes, "Oh, you're a trad guy." I said, "You know what? I'm just a bow hunter." I said, I don't care. I'm not trying to be in anybody's little group of friends or anything." I said, "I'm not doing it. I just like these bows better." I said, "I'm just a regular guy." And he says, "Oh, you should join this group I'm in." I said, "What's that?" And he goes, "A Professional Bow Hunter Society." And I thought it was like probably most people think when they hear professional. I thought it was like Chuck Adams and all
Right.
those guys. And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with that." And boy, I kick myself now because I joined. What did we say, Kip? 23. It was just not long ago, like 3 or 4 years ago. And oh my God, we're having the best time. And it's the nicest people I've ever met. I've
Yeah.
never felt like I belonged in a group more than this in my life.
I've
And
been a
she's a
member.
member.
Right. I've been a member since '78. And the reason
Wow.
why I joined is my mom was like in between marriages. So it was one of those things where I was a young teenager and I saw Fred Bear on the American Sportsman and all that stuff. And I told my mom, that's what I want to do. And it's probably the best choice I ever made because all my buddies were out smoking weed and getting stupid. And I spent the weekends working on turning wrenches and shooting my bow in the backyard and then hanging out with other kids that bow hunted in the area. So I was able to bow hunt my local area, rabbits and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
that's what kept my head on a swivel. So, thank God for
I
that.
believe
And,
it.
so I
Yep.
saw the PBS advertising in Bowhunter magazine. I said, "What's this all about?" And so I applied associate membership, and I'm still an associate member. I have applied twice for the regular membership, which really only involves voting, and I could care less about voting. I'm not a
Yeah.
politically driven person, so I'm just a supporter, sort of like an athletic supporter.
I Yeah, there you go. We shoot every Wednesday. We got a group we call the Twang Gang that Kip and I are both on the board of directors of a really big sportsman's club locally here. And it's mostly a sporting clays club.
Mhm.
Now we joined and we got a lot of pistol games like IDPA, USPSA, Steel Challenge, stuff like that going. And when I got back into bow hunting, I went to work at a power plant in 2001.
Mhm.
And every fall, a coal-fired power plant, every fall we worked outages. And I would work 7/16s, and the whole time. And it was the whole fall. I missed deer season every year.
Like 90 days.
Yeah, like 90 days in a row, double shifts. And when they closed the plant, I was an operations supervisor. And I was moping pretty good, because, my buddies and stuff. And she goes, you have archery season back. And I could just hear the angels. And I've just been all
Woo.
wrapped up. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's been all we've been thinking about ever since. So, yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Prior to me getting on tonight with you guys, I knock off at 4 o'clock every day. So I was in the shop, I'm working on bows and, that's my therapy, getting them out the door. I already got three I'm going to mail tomorrow. I'm mailing 3 to 5 bows a week. So I'm getting there. So when I retire, then I'll make the announcement. Guys, I'm full time. I'm open.
There you
Yeah.
go. I
So
think I talked to you a while back about I had a bear I was thinking about getting refinished and ended up selling it instead. But I think I talked to you like a couple years ago. Somebody mentioned your name. I don't remember who. But
probably through stickbow or something like that, or even Messenger for that matter. Because you and I've been friends on Facebook for a while.
yeah, it might have been Rod Schaefer. We
Oh,
were at
there. Well, there you
Tim
go.
Denial had a odd year gathering, and I was talking to him about it. He's a nice guy.
I haven't seen him since I saw him in a 24 banquet gathering, and I was surprised not to see him this year. I didn't see him at all. Was he there?
No, he had some sort of health issue. We're a couple hours south of him.
Okay.
He's real local to Tim Denial,
Yeah.
and that's where I met him. He's a super nice guy.
Yeah. He's a great. I've known him since I was a teenager, and that's a long
Right.
time ago.
Yeah.
So besides you two, are there any other do your kids bow hunt? Anybody bow hunt besides you?
Well,
Well,
our youngest has decided he is going to Africa with us, and he actually picked up his bow, and he's in the process of ordering a bow
Hmm.
to take to Africa.
this kid was a Northeast United States men's tomahawk champion when he was 7 years old.
Wow.
He went to the Northeastern primitive long rifle, like Mountain Man Rendezvous up in New York State. And he
Oh,
beat the guy. This guy was like the pitching coach for the Red Sox or something. They had 8 throw-offs. This little 7-year-old kid kicked his ass. It was cool as hell.
oh yeah, hell
So
yeah. I mean,
Richard Brum ended up making him a little critter back, I don't know what year it would have been, like
Probably been
2004,
yeah.
2004 or something like that. And uh, he hasn't shot a bow in years. He's a phenomenal shotgunner. Um, a phenomenal shotgunner. And he's big into waterfowl hunting and all that stuff. And he has no interest in archery. And we asked him if he wanted to go to Africa, and he's like, "Yeah, maybe I will." He said, "You gonna make fun of me if I shoot a rifle?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely."
yeah.
He said, "What about a compound?" I said, "100%. That'd be even worse." And then so he picked up. He's got a '67 Bear Grizzly recurve, and he showed up down the club, and we have 40 targets out that we shoot every Wednesday night, anywhere from probably the closest shot is probably 15 yards, clear out to like 50 yards. And he went down there and he hit damn near every target. And it's like without having shot a bow in years.
Good
Right.
shots, not just like
Yeah,
foam. He was actually
Yeah, he
in the kill zone.
drilling it. Yeah.
And he was a controlled shot. He'd come back and anchor and everything and just let it
Not
rip.
really, no.
No, no.
I'm a grip it and rip it kind of guy. He's kind of taking
Okay.
after me.
I got
So
such bad target panic. It's ridiculous. I mean, I had to put a clicker on my bow just to calm myself down because there's nobody around me. I'm in the backyard by myself, and I've got a 3D range in the backyard. I actually have to talk to myself when I come back. But when I'm hunting, it's a whole nother process. I'm
yeah.
just kill and grill. You know, it's
Yep.
weird.
I do every now and then what I'll do is I'll draw and I'll anchor and just I tend to shoot pretty quick, but I'll draw an anchor and I'll just hold and I'll just think about that. I'll just make a conscious effort to think about that spot and I'll let down. For me, letting down is the hardest thing. And I discovered recently I shoot split finger
Mm,
that I hook my index finger and when I put my middle finger in the corner of my mouth, I hook that index finger on my cheekbone
okay.
and I can't it like it'll turn your head. You know what I mean? You come back hard. And boy, that's a really good anchor. It's like and I now I can think about it because it's such a positive stop.
Right.
And that's helped me a lot. I mean, I shoot okay. There's a lot better. We're good friends with Kegan McCabe, and that kid's a machine. Man, he can shoot. That Omega Longbows guy. He's tremendous. And a real good friend of ours, Kevin Kerr. I got him into traditional shooting, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And he is a fiend. He's a phenomenal shot. And he's a bow nut now. You know, I started
We
making
converted
strings,
him.
and he makes like a string a day. And, you know, he's into it. He's going to Africa with us as well.
Man, that's awesome.
Another real good friend, Carl Mason's probably going with us. We're hoping. So
So, of your archery career, and I'm going to ask probably Earl first, and I'll Kip you interject as we go in there. Are there any archery heroes, mentors?
it'd have to be hero. It'd have to be Fred Bear. I can remember watching him shooting a tiger and Rosie the elephant rolling the tiger under its foot.
Hmm.
I can remember him shooting a grizzly bear. I was just a little kid watching him on, I don't know, what is it, American Sportsman or something.
Same thing for me.
Yeah. And those guys were really, Fred Bear was definitely number one. Modern day now, you like a guy that just impresses me to no end is Bill Terry.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
He's phenomenal. There's so many guys in the PBS now that I've met them. Rick Snell. Have you ever heard about you know about Rick
Oh,
Snell?
well, he sent me a text earlier today. He's doing a podcast with Ian, Roger Gui, or
Who's that?
I don't know.
Stick Boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he says, "Hey, let me do this first, and then I'll come on yours." Okay, cool. So
He's cool. He's cool as hell.
He's
He
great.
sat there, he just sits there and just laughs about, yeah, I went ahead and killed a couple dozen grizzly bears.
yeah,
That's
like
all.
kill
No
30
big deal.
moose, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's
Super
like,
nice guy.
yeah, humble as hell.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But there's so many guys that you meet and you hear about what they did. The Kelsers and all those guys and Don Thomas. I've reading his stories and books since I started. I've always thought he was phenomenal. Um, there's but I don't know. If there's one in particular, I don't know who it'd be. Probably Fred Bear.
Yeah, same for me. Fred's one of them. Glenn
Um,
St. Charles. What about you, Kip?
I have to say I most admire the Wenzels actually.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I just like their whole attitude toward the whole thing, and
you could have said me. That would have been
well,
that'd
you
have been kind of like
know.
my man and stuff. Yeah, you missed your chance. It's
Sorry.
late. You didn't mean
Oh,
it.
he's better looking.
But we've sat down with Barry and his wife Sue, you know, and
Sure.
had great conversations and just really shared a lot. And I just, I really like all that they've done over the years. And I love Don Thomas's books.
Oh yeah, his
Amazing
his
writing.
writing skills are
Amazing writer.
off the charts.
Yeah, Monty Browning,
Mhm.
another badass,
Yep.
a tough
Super
guy.
friendly. Yeah. I mean, I can't
Yeah,
believe
they're
he's still
all
working
great.
in trees at his age.
Yeah, when we were at the PBS gathering, I asked him, I said, "What'd you shoot when you shot the buffalo?" And he was telling me about his arrows. He said, "You want one?" I said, "Sure." So yesterday in the mail, he sent me one of his arrows, the 1500 grain, I think.
And he shot
It's
a
got
Where
kid.
a it's
Brian
got
on it, he shot a
it's got a
buffalo.
solid fiberglass rod inside of an
No,
aluminum.
Yeah.
it's a skinny
Here.
it's a skinny carbon, and he epoxied a can you see it?
Yeah.
He epoxied a piece of solder full length in it.
Wow.
Pretty cool. I thought that was cool as could
Really
be.
heavy.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah.
heavy.
He said it was that one's not one that killed an animal, but he said yeah, he said they'd stick right out the other side, and I'm like, I bet. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he used to shoot a 90-pound longbow.
Yeah, like it was nothing.
Yeah,
So when guys send me bows to repair, refinish, whatever, I ask them, first thing I ask them, how heavy is it? And I had one guy tell me 94 pounds. I'm like, I cannot string it.
yeah,
I can't. I just can't do it at my age anymore. I have to, I built a contraption on my workbench where I can hook the bottom limb on like a spool, like a spindle, if you will, and
yeah,
then pull it back and then, you know,
yeah.
but Jesus, I mean, I don't do weight reductions anymore because of that. It's just too much. Too
I
much can
still
go
like
wrong.
shooting heavier bows.
Yeah.
I get the biggest kick out of a heavier bow. I just enjoy the hell out of shooting
Well,
them.
I don't know if you saw the bow I did for Kevin Barr, the takedown. It's a silver ghost that Paul Schaefer made for whomever,
Okay.
and I refinished it, it's 61 pounds, but it's probably the smoothest drawing 61 pounds I've ever drawn in my life. But it is a 62-inch bow, so the
Mhm.
longer the bow, obviously, the better it is to deal with.
Right.
And I said, "You're shooting carp with this? Why?" 61. Well, I've never seen a grizzly bear sized carp.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel 45 pounds all day long, but what have
Yeah,
it?
I actually just ordered a 45-pound bow just to hedge my bets, but I've been shooting. I'm lefty. A couple years ago, I broke my right wrist, and
Mm.
I didn't realize I'd broken it. And I'm getting arthritis in my wrist now. And a lot of the bows that I really like I just can't tilt my hand at all. My hand's not straight up and down. It's misery. If it is straight up and down, I can shoot. I can still shoot it, 82-pound bow with no discomfort at all.
Can you wear a brace of
No, it's just
sorts?
my wrist. If my wrist is straight, I'm great. If I bend it that far, I'm going through hell.
Mhm.
So I started shooting right-handed. I thought, oh, I'll just give it a break and make sure to let it heal up, And I started shooting right-handed, and I hit okay. I mean, I actually hit pretty good.
Very modest. He hits very good.
Well, I hit okay, but it's just there's no confidence in it. You know what I mean? It's like if I had an animal there, if I get the slightest glimpse of the arrow when I shoot right-handed, like I keep both eyes wide open and I pick my spot and I'll hit it. But if I get the slightest glimpse, if I accidentally look at the arrow, I'll hit 2 feet to the left. And my left eye takes over and just drives it.
Right.
So learning not to do that's really difficult.
So you're left eye dominant.
Big time.
Okay, I'm right eye dominant shooting lefty. So I think about that compensation thing. So I just move everything over and boom.
I had Eric McKee made me a quiver, and it says it's got a set of like the nasty eyes, like the real, eyebrows, but the eyes are crossed. It says cross-eyed dominant. You don't know where it's coming from, and I don't know where it's going. Cross-eyed dominant. But
That's
I
cool.
thought that
Have
was pretty cool.
have a little chuckle while you're shooting
That's right.
for
Yep.
sure. So What is your fondest recollection as a young bow hunter? Well, younger.
Well, I remember that my first deer that I got. I had shot plenty of deer, a lot of deer with a rifle and a handgun and all that stuff.
Hmm.
And I was hunting here. We live on the Mahoning River, and I was hunting down by the river, and I had to stand like 28 feet in the air, shooting a 65 pound, 64 pound zipper with Douglas fir arrows and big Zwickey deltas. And
Mm.
these deer come in probably not more than 5 yards from the tree, and I shot, and it ran like 20 yards and crashed. I went over to get it. That thing was a fawn. It was so small. It weighed like 40 pounds. I brought it up the house. I carried it up the house in one hand. My old man saw that. He laughed and goes, "What the hell? Why the hell would you shoot that?" I'm like, "It looked bigger from up there."
They
But
all
you
do.
know, it was
Yep.
like with traditional bow hunting. Once you break the cherry, you're good. You know, once you get one, it gets a lot easier.
Yeah, I
And I
think
just
when I
started
was younger,
smacking them.
the first one, same thing for me. It was like 45 pounds dressed. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I had a Volkswagen. So I strapped it to the back of the Volkswagen. And, Volkswagens had those tailpipes that come out. Well, I had the
Yeah.
Baja Bug thing coming out, the
Yeah.
big stinger. And by the time I got it to where it was the weigh station, it was all burned from the exhaust. It had a big burn mark on it. So the backstrapper was already cooked. So I ate that little piece. Uh,
I had a
um,
Volkswagen diesel pickup, the Rabbit diesel pickup.
yeah, yeah.
There was not a straight wheel on that truck anywhere. It had like 600,000 miles on when I bought it. And like I said, the engine had been built a couple times, but I was an engine mechanic. It was no big deal, you know.
Mhm.
And it had a stack. It had a stack coming out of the bed. So the exhaust come up in the middle of the bed, went over across the floor of the bed, and then straight up. And I shot a couple does down near Wexford, just outside of Pittsburgh.
Bless you.
And I just threw them in the bed of the truck, you know, and I wasn't paying attention. It didn't have brakes for shit, but it had 23.5 to 1 compression. So I slowed down like that, you know. I wasn't paying attention. I had to slam on the brakes going through the toll booth. And those two deer slid forward. Well, I didn't notice. And they're laying on that exhaust header.
Ooh,
I got up to the next toll booth and they're sticking their head out waving, just go, just go, just go, just go. And I'm like, what the hell's going on?
you're
And
smoking.
that white smoke wafted up in the cab, and I thought I was gonna have to sell the truck. It stunk so bad. But it didn't really ruin anything. It was just like the feeder, the ears or something was on
Yeah,
fire.
it's
But
okay.
yeah,
That's just standard cologne for us hunters.
yeah, yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
Now, Kip, what was your first experience?
Well, being as I've only shot three things, it's like,
Was Africa?
um, yeah, Africa. The biggest thing with Africa is don't get a pass through with somebody behind it because if you pass through and you nick the guy behind it, you've bought two.
That's two.
Yep. You just got your not a BOGO because you buy one, get one, paying for it too. So, but it's
I've
definitely a lesson you have to learn real fast over there.
Yeah, I found out here my first year here in Florida, living in Baltimore for 40 years. So my son buys me a pig hunt, which is only 10 minutes from the house. So I get in my stand. The guy goes, look, okay, they're going to come into the feeder, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm gun hunting now. I'm using a 50 cal. This big sow comes in with all her little babies. I mean, these things are cute. They're about the size of a cell phone. That's how newborn they are. And they're running around and scratching their butts on the trees and stuff. But they're running around so much, it's really distracting. So I'm trying to train my scope on her. Finally, she's broadside at the feeder. And I did not notice that one of her babies went behind her. And I let her rip. And she just dropped in her tracks. And so did the other one. Because it went through her
Oh man.
and took out one of the infants. And I was like, dude, I asked the guy, I said, oh, you going to hit me up for two on these? He goes, nah, there's so many of them around here. Let's just eat it now. So they butchered the baby, right? The little one, and we just ate it for lunch. So it was tender victuals, so to speak.
Was that a
But,
bear?
huh?
Huh?
You said a bear?
No,
No, boar, big
Oh,
pig.
boar. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Florida's full of pigs. We got them everywhere. They're like cockroaches, really. I've never seen anything like it. It's just any given day you can just drive anywhere and see pigs and bears. We have bears here all over the place, but they have a season they did this year, but it's only on private land only. But so these things just maraud through neighborhoods and just tear apart garbage cans. It's ridiculous.
We get them periodically around here, but there's no like resident population. But probably about 15 miles from here is Lake Arthur. It's um, Moraine State Park in Pennsylvania. They shot a 717-pound black bear there last year.
Pennsylvania, Jersey, they're just pumping out big, heavy black bears. And so's North Carolina.
I think this was a problem bear that they relocated,
Okay.
So
maybe it's the one from Zach's yard.
Probably, yeah.
Our son had a bear in his neighborhood.
Okay.
They had to come and trap it and get it out of there, relocated it.
I remember camping at Denton Hill, the original Denton Hill, and they had a marauding bear that kept coming through the campgrounds at night. And I'm sitting in my tent with a bunch of other dudes, and we're drinking beers and shit. And we hear all this commotion. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And we hear, it was that black bear. It was going through campsite to campsite looking for food, just tearing up stuff. And they finally, the DNR finally brought in a big, gigantic drum thing and caught it. But what a mess this thing made.
I'll bet.
I've gone to Fort Stewart for the PBS pig hunt the last couple of years with Mark Pointer. You want a funny guy you want to get him on your pod, you'll die laugh. He's hysterical. He's a hell of a hunter.
Is he PBS?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a good dude. And
I'm gonna make note of that.
Yeah, Mark Pointer, Poynor, terrific guy. And he will have some stories that'll have you just crying. And there's another guy, Mark Morrison. You have to do the cemetery assassin story and tell me, you'll fall out of your chair when they tell you that. If I could do it justice, I'd try to tell you, but I couldn't do it justice. You got to be from Georgia to be able to tell that story, right?
Yeah, I'm friends with Mark Morrison on Facebook. I was looking at his post today. So, yeah, since the banquet, I've been reaching out left and right to people to get people booked because I only do it on Tuesday nights. That's it. Because I work still full time. The archery thing, bows, refinishing, I'm busy as hell. So I try and do it every Tuesday night. Like this episode's not going to drop till next Tuesday because Gene Wenzel's dropping tonight. And nice. Gene will not be on YouTube. He will be on Spotify only. We had technical difficulties. I think I mentioned that earlier, but it is what it is. Anybody over 75, I'm going to have to give you a tutorial on how to use Zoom. So
those guys are golden, though. I imagine it's a great episode.
Oh, it will. Well, it was an hour, almost 2 hours.
A
couple of months ago, he and I did one. It was almost 3 hours. I had asked permission to go to the bathroom because it was like, wow, yeah. But man, I've known him since I was a teenager. I mean, I broke up with girls just to go see him and Barry speak.
Yeah, I remember hearing you say that. Yeah, I met them down at Paul Bruner had the Screaming Eagle store down in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah.
And me and a buddy of mine went down there and they did a seminar. And I'm kind of an ass, I was like heckling them. And Gene goes, "You're staying after class." And my buddy goes, "He's mad." I said, "He ain't mad." We sat down there I couldn't tell you how late. And they had us crying. They were telling this story about, I think it was Gene peeing on Paul's boots at an airport bathroom.
I don't doubt it. Yeah.
Ostrich boots or something like that. I don't remember the story, but it was.
Yeah, and Paul loved dressing up. He loved, nice boots.
He's a good dude. I met him down there several times. He's actually a really good guy.
They all are.
Him a lot.
That whole generation is just guys that are just regular guys, and people think that they're celebrities. You can't talk to them. No, complete polar opposite. They're regular Joes like you and I.
Yep.
Yeah. Just a little bit better track record.
Yeah, a little bit. It was funny because I introduced my wife to Barry and Gene, and Gene and Barry both look at my wife and they're like, "Oh, we heard about you." And she goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You're the only woman on this planet that can put up with Rich Lopez." And she thought that was awesome, and and then we were introduced to the rest of the family, and it was just great. It was just great times.
I got to put up with all them old geezers flirting with my wife all the time, especially at Etar. She bakes like, I don't know how many dozen cookies.
I don't know, probably 20 dozen cookies
And she gives out cookies at the
at the UTR booth. I have cookies sitting out. Hey, what brings people to the table? Food, right?
Right.
That's the first time we did the booth.
Well,
I
so
said, I'm
you,
making
well,
cookies
so
because
you
I
know,
didn't
Kip.
come over.
Well, so you know, Kip. I'm a type 2 diabetic. You can make me cookies anytime. I just take another pill, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
All those geezers flirting with my wife. I got to put up with
You guys are a handsome couple. I will say that.
it.
So, tell us about tell us about Africa. I mean, you've been twice now, going on a third. So, talk to us
We
about it.
went we went to a sportsman show in Monroeville, and that was before I joined PBS, and
Mhm.
I didn't know anybody that had been I wanted to go elk hunting. Well, my whole life's been working. You know, I wouldn't change anything about my life. I got three really good sons. You know, we own our own small farm here. You know, we've been together for
43.
43 years. I wouldn't change nothing. You know, I did what I had to do. I'm fine with that. Now that I'm older and the house is paid off and all that stuff, I'm going hunting. So I wanted to go elk hunting. I thought, well, I'll go out once with an outfitter and just learn because I don't know anything about it. And we talked to this outfitter, and this kid was so full of shit. You lie to me once, I'll never believe you again. And he was just completely full of
Yeah.
crap.
The crap detector was going off.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
big
yeah.
time.
And I said, you know what, buddy? I said, if you told me concrete was hard, I'd have to hit my head before I believed you. I said, I'm wasting your time. I'll never give you a nickel. And I walked past, and the next booth down was Bosch Nell Safaris. And Brendan Nell was standing there. And I go, what are you selling, you know? He goes, I'm not selling anything. I'm offering you an opportunity. I'm like, all right, I like that. That's a good
That was a
angle.
good answer.
Yep.
Yeah, and we started talking to him, and I think he'd cut his arm off before he'd BS you about anything. And it was pretty obvious. He's a very straight shooter. So we talked about it. We had never even considered it. And we walked away, and I looked over at Kip and I go, what do you think? You want to go to Africa? And her eyes just like, yeah,
Like, yeah, oh yeah.
let's go back and put a deposit. So we did. And I told him, I said, I'm only going to be interested in bow hunting, though. I just, you know, he's like, okay. Well, actually, I told him, I said, just in case I get a chance to shoot a buffalo, I said, I'm going to build a rifle. What do you think I should build? And I've ended up building a 9.3 by 62, which is really cool. The more I thought about this, like, I don't really want to shoot anything with a rifle. I like shooting. I'm a bow hunter. I like hunting with a bow. So I didn't even bring it.
Okay.
So I wasted a couple $100 there. But so we got over there. The first day, I got airsick like insanely bad on the plane, either food poisoning or air sickness, one or the other. And I was about dead when we landed. And we spent the night at a guest house, it's called. And then the next day we took a jump flight to Kimberly, and then about a couple hour drive
About 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
to the concession or whatever you want to call it. And they said, "You want to go hunting?" I'm like, "Yep."
Yep.
So we went out to a water hole, and I was telling him, he goes, a lot of times cows have bigger horns than the bulls do. I was like, I don't want to shoot any cows. I said, I'm here, no nuts, no target. I shoot bulls and rams. I don't want to shoot cows.
Right.
And he goes, well, whatever. I said, that's how I want to do it. And he goes, okay, that's fine.
Tap me on the shoulder when a male
Yeah.
shows up. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're standing there and this gemsbuck comes up and them things are beautiful.
Yeah.
And he looks at me and he goes, Mr. Earl, he goes, I know gemsbuck's not on your list because I was just going for the cheap. I was just trying to keep it as cheap as I could.
Sure.
And what's the matter?
You just keep sliding that
Oh,
way.
so I was trying to keep it as cheap as I could, and this gemsbuck comes in, and them things are beautiful. And he goes, "Listen, he's not on your list, but boy, if you want a bull, there's your boy right there. That thing's huge. Got like a 3 foot kill zone on it. It's 15 yards broadside." And I'm like,
Damn.
"Oh man," I was thinking golf tees at 15 yards.
Right.
I'm like,
Stevie
yeah,
Wonder couldn't miss this.
yeah. So then I draw back, and they had asked me to put lighted nocks in, and I did. And I need my ass kicked for doing that because I hadn't practiced with them or anything. And I didn't think anything of it. Well, when I drew back, I had a Tolkien Whistler,
Mm.
short, like a hybrid bow.
Right.
Really, really a good bow. And when I shot, that bow kicked like a mule. The arrow come off the string sideways, and I hit like 3 feet to the left of where I wanted. I'm like,
Oh,
I couldn't
geez.
believe it. And I hit him just under the hide on the back, like clear back near the haunches. And I could have died. I just was so sick. That beautiful animal, I made such a bad shot, such an easy shot. It went so bad, and I was just kicking myself. We tracked it for miles. Their trackers are insane. The stories are true about their trackers. A guy named Sylvester that was insanely talented tracker. And I knew we wouldn't find him. I knew where I hit it. That's not a fatal hit. So that night we went back to the lodge, he said, listen, he goes, it's 1,000,000 to 1 chance. He goes, he might come back because we were supposed to go somewhere different the next day.
Okay.
He said, you mind going back? I said, not at all. We went back, and in the morning I shot a springbuck out of that blind. And then late in the afternoon, a solitary gemsbuck starts coming in from way off. I could see those two big horns. I said, I wonder if that's mine. He goes, well, don't get your hopes up. And eventually starts coming in. Well, here it was the same one. You could see the wound on his back. And but this time it's like 27 yards quartering to me. And I'm sitting there waiting. And he's looking at me. Brendan's looking at me. His eyes are like, the
Shoot.
hell's wrong with you?
Right,
Shoot.
right. Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to get him quartering away. He goes, you already hit him. Shoot. So I shot and I just drilled him. Well, here what we did, we found the other arrow, and that lighted knock split, it just blew apart when I shot. So I
Okay.
basically dry fired my bow. And the tracker, like a day or two later, found the knock pieces right in front of the blind. So that's how we figured out what happened. And I felt a lot better after that. But yeah, that was a terrific hunt. So go ahead. Oh, you go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So, well, I got I was shooting the crossbow, and I told him, I said, if I can't get a good 4-inch group consistently, I said, I'm not going to shoot anything.
Right.
And so took me a couple days, and I got it. I got the hang of it.
Took you a couple hours.
So, well, I only had a few minutes here and there to practice. So we went out to the blind, and I was going to get a bloodspot because they were coming up really close. And, this is the first time I'd shot anything, let alone shot it with something I'd never shot before. And they just wouldn't stand still. They kept shuffling and getting behind each other and walking in front of the one I wanted to shoot and everything else. And Sheldon, Earl's hard of hearing. And Sheldon, who was our PH that day, said, if you want a zebra, you can have the one in the back. It's an old mare. Just take her. She's killing impala babies when they come in. So,
Oh, wow.
all right. So he says, wait till that stallion moves his behind out of the way, and then you can go ahead and take your shot. Well, Earl heard none of this. So
I thought she was shooting at a bloodspot.
He's still thinking of
Oh,
shooting
wow.
a bloodspot. So I shot over top of 2 bloodspot into the zebra, and it dropped like 60 yards. It's like completely bled out. It was done.
Yeah, it was like
And
a horror movie. It
was-
worked really well. I thought about crap myself.
Action was great because he's like, you shot us. He was so shocked. It was hysterical.
So-
Sheldon goes, well, it's going to be a long tracking job. I said, why? He goes, zebras are really tough. He said, they'll take like 3 or 4 shots from a 375 to kill them. He said, they're really tough. I said, Sheldon, I think it's laying right there. He goes, no, he's not going to be there. It'll be miles. I said, no. I said, all them zebras ran like 70 yards. They're all standing there looking at the ground. I kind of think it's laying right there. No, it's not there. And he looks at the bronco and goes, son of a bitch, there it is.
Yeah, hemorrhaging is hemorrhaging. I mean,
no, it was different.
You run out of oil. Guess what happens? The engine stops.
You couldn't, when we were walking down, following the blood trail, just because there was not a spot that you could step that you weren't stepping on blood.
Yeah, it painted the world.
It was crazy.
The VPA 3-blade.
Yeah. So, Kip, I'm going to ask you a question, a sexist question.
Okay.
All right. Since, and I've interviewed women before on this podcast. I had Fred Bear's granddaughter on here. Okay. So, in your mind, I mean, your first animal was Africa.
Right.
But you come from a hunting background, okay, a family and all that, and a farm and all that. So you've been exposed to it, nothing new to you.
Right.
Do you think there is, and I hate this word, sexism, or any kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? What do you call that when you're you look at somebody that's different and you're opposed to that.
Kind of like a racism thing, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you
Like
feel
a
like
little
there's
bit.
any of that in the hunting world for women?
It depends. It really just depends on the person you're talking to.
Okay.
Being on the board of directors down at the club, I've run
Mhm.
into some of especially the older set of gentlemen that think we don't belong there
Okay.
and we aren't worth talking to. But then you run into the same age and everything else, and they're perfectly fine with it. They
Yeah,
fully
I'm
support
totally
it. It
of
really
that
just depends
mindset.
on the person. It just depends on the person you're talking to.
Yeah. I've been involved with many organizations. I've founded several organizations,
Mhm.
and I always like a female perspective because females tend to be a little unbiased.
Yeah.
They're more rational, I think, than men are. This is
It
just
depends on what you're.
my opinion. Uh, some guys may like it, may not. I really don't give a shit. I mean, that's how I roll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to be all for it, but now that she's getting good at it, I'm on this bullshit. It's too expensive.
More
No,
money,
no,
yeah.
no. It's all good, and it's great. As I mean, I don't know if you know Tim Cardinal from Wisconsin.
No.
What's the
Uh,
name?
Cardinal?
Tim Cardinal.
I don't think so.
Okay, I think we're all loosely friends on social media, but him and his wife are very involved in the Wisconsin traditional bow hunters, which is huge, obviously,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and they are so intense. I love them to both. They're phenomenal. I've had him and his wife on. I love getting husband and wives on here, by the way.
Yeah.
So, people listening, you want to bring your wife in, now's the time to put the makeup on.
Yeah.
But
Anybody that knows me knows it's Kip and Earl. We're like a package deal, you know.
yeah, same with my wife and I. Well, we're inseparable. Whenever I go somewhere, like on Sunday, she works a lot at Costco part time. So on Sundays, I'll go up to the local, brew pub, get my pizza, and have a couple brewskis, and then watch a game, and then get the hell out. And the first thing out of people's mouths are, "Where's your wife, Lisa?" That's been for almost 40 years. We're
Yeah.
like inseparable. So, and the podcast now, shit, I've been doing this since early 2023. So here we are, 3 years later, and this is probably going to be episode 164, I think. But yeah, it's a lot of episodes, and
Yeah.
yeah, the first couple that I did was a shit show, complete shit show. Way too much alcohol involved, so I've toned it down a lot. Um, so
So that was the first Africa hunt. All right. So
yeah,
while we were waiting on that one, a friend of ours had gone over. He's a rifle hunter, but he's also a photographer. And they said, "Hey, you want to see a slideshow?" Well, it's not a slideshow, whatever you call it.
Point.
Yeah, PowerPoint of his photos from this hunt. And
right,
I knew they'd be really good. So we said, "Yeah," we went over and it was phenomenal. The pictures are just the pictures don't do it justice, but he's a hell of a photographer. And I said, "Man, that looks fantastic." I said, "Where'd you go?" And he said, "Well, Hercules Oliver." I said, "Man, that looks like a great time. Does he do bow hunting?" He said, "Well, he's sitting right behind you. Ask him." And I turned around, and Hercules and his wife Estelle were there. And I said, "How you doing? I'm Earl Cowher." I said, "You do bow hunting?" He said, "I want you to meet my 4-year-old son, Archer." I'm like, "All right, you know."
there you go. Yeah,
And then he goes, I had a Harley sweatshirt, I think, on. He goes, "You have a Harley?" I said, "Yeah, I have a couple of them." He goes, "I too have a Harley." He goes, "You come hunt with me and we'll ride the mountains of South Africa." I said, "You donate a hunt to PBS and I'll bid on it." He said, "Okay." So he beat the hunt and it went really inexpensively because nobody had heard of him.
right.
And so we bid and we got it. All right. And a few other guys from PBS went with us. And we had a freaking ball. And Hercules couldn't, it's something, I think he had like an illness in the family. He couldn't ride. We were going to rent one from the Harley dealer in Pretoria.
Uh-huh.
He said, "Just take my bike." So we rode through the Waterberg Mountains on his Harley, and it was
Oh, dude.
It was great. It was
yeah.
awesome.
And so
Baboons
we
running right
had,
in front of you.
oh yeah, yeah. How many people had a
Crazy.
baboon run out from a Harley? And so we could not possibly have had more fun. We went way over budget. Don't regret a nickel of it. It was just, we've talked about that hunt every single day since then. We got back September 2nd or something like that.
Yeah.
And we've looked at those pictures and talked about that hunt every day. the PH we were with was a guy, young guy named Andre. He was in the competitive pistol shooting like we were at the same type. And we talked and he just kept us laughing every day. We would mess with him like crazy. Um, and the last day, everything, we got lucky. Kip and I didn't need a tracker for anything this year. We were like snipers apparently because everything worked out good. I shot a beautiful Impala and well, I wanted her to shoot it. That thing kept coming in and they're so spooky. It kept coming in and it'd spook out. It'd come in and spook out like for 4 hours.
Mm.
And she was finally stressed out. She said, just kill that dang thing. I said, all right. And it come in a few times and it come in and I drilled it. It only went 18 yards. Uh, um, and then what was next? The wildebeest. So last year at Bushnell, I shot a blue wildebeest. It looked like an absolutely perfect pass-through shot. I hit exactly the spot they said. They're like high-fiving. Oh, he's going to be on the ground at 50 yards. 5 miles and 24 hours later,
Whoa.
we had to follow up to shoot him with a rifle. And I literally shot right behind this shoulder, quartering away out the center of the second shoulder, dead centered both lungs, and he just didn't care. They're just that tough. And I had mentioned I wanted to redeem myself, and we're up in this blind, and you hear like thunder, and Andre goes, "Oh, it's a bunch of golden wildebeest," and oh, there's a slammer of a blue bull, and I said, "Kip, you're up."
I looked at him, I said, this is your redemption. I said, this one's yours.
That thing
You
was
get it.
huge.
So how
And
many
I
species of
went to
wildebeest
sleep,
are
and I
there?
thought-
There's black,
What's
blue, golden.
There's blue, there's golden, and there's black.
and there's
Okay.
kings.
And, oh, the kings. We haven't. I haven't seen
Yeah.
kings listed on anybody's price list. Those.
Yeah.
There's blue, the golden, and the black.
But the blue are beautiful, and the golden are twice the money, but I don't think they look anywhere near as good. So I'm not interested in shooting one. I think the blue look phenomenal. And this thing, I look out, and this thing was huge. I mean, last year I shot one weighed 375. This one was 750.
Whoa.
And I looked, I was gonna shoot, and I finally successfully let the bow down. I'm like, no, I ain't doing that again. I picked a spot on his shoulder and I shot, and it looked like I got about 4 inches of penetration. I thought, oh crap, I went too far forward. And she's like, no, you nailed it. You nailed
That's
it.
great.
This thing takes off like a Brahma bull, man. He's jumping 6 feet in the air, and he ran 50 yards and crashed. And here, the arrow went through and stuck in the arm bone on the opposite side.
Okay.
Actually, the broadhead penetrated the arm bone, and I dead centered his heart. He only went 50 yards. And that was really cool. And then they let me stalk and then Yala. That was
They're
really-
huge.
Well, no, they're like 350 pounds.
Yeah, they're smaller.
What's the one
And
I'm
y'all-
thinking that's really big, like
The
900?
eland.
Eland, that's
Eland.
it.
Eland and the
Yep.
kudu, they're both really big.
And so I was trying to sneak up on a kudu, and I got within 50 yards half a dozen times, but it wasn't happening. And then I was able to get up on a bull and Yala, and they're beautiful. That was cool. And then she shot her blesbuck. You saw that video.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I shot the one blessed buck. First I went to shoot one and I just like took the hair off its back. Well, when I took the hair off the back of it, then I nicked the one behind it.
She nicked one like 50 or 60 yards
Yeah,
behind it.
it-
It glanced off the ground.
And and then came up.
That
with
does that
one.
consider as a kill, or no?
Well, no, we nicked it. We saw the nick in the one. We saw the hair coming off.
Mhm.
And he said, ma'am, you hit the, yeah, we know. We'll have to pay for it. No, we understand. And it came back later, and I saw this little nick on its back, and I said, there's your blesbuck. And she just drilled it. I mean, perfect. I almost jumped out of the stand. It was so perfect. And I'm like high five, and he goes, ma'am, that was a great shot, but that wasn't
That
your,
wasn't the one.
that wasn't your blesbuck. I said, yeah, it is. Look at the mark on its back. Well, I didn't realize he had videoed the first one. And her anchor had hit the hard packed ground and glanced and clear back on the other side of the clearing, hit this one in the neck.
Oh shit!
So then it was the next day, I think.
It was because I shot that one in the morning, then you shot the wildebeest, and then the next morning we came back out there and the blesbuck came back in and it was there.
He goes, there's yours. And she said, okay, whack.
When I
drilled it.
back that one,
She drilled it.
went like 50 yards. So
That was cool. And then the last night we're in the blind with Andre. Oh, I shoot at squirrels. All right. And last year at Bushnell, they said the guys prior to us had broken every arrow they owned. They were shooting compounds. They never got one. They said, don't shoot squirrels. I'm like, oh, my arrows will be fine. Don't worry about it. And I shot one, and that was real cool. Now, the tracker, who had just tracked the wildebeest 5 miles with no blood trail. And he goes, Mr. Earl, there's another one. Shoot him for me. And I'm looking around. I'm like, Sylvester, where are you? I don't see one. He said, right there by the tree. I go, holy crap, it's like 75 yards. I can't hit a squirrel at 75 yards. And he just slumps his shoulders. He goes, if you don't want to shoot him for me, I understand. I'm like, oh. So I drew back and I anchored and I just dropped my hand on my chest and I shot. And that arrow arced and just drilled that thing, man. Poof, and killed it. And they ended up getting it mounted for us. So we
Good.
had a full
That's
mount
awesome.
of a ground squirrel coming. But they, oh
Yeah,
man, the trackers were all jumping up and down and cheering, and they were just like I was a hero for a day or something.
that's
So
all
they're
right.
shooting at them, and they're like from the Matrix. You can't hit them. Like you shoot, the arrow looks perfect, and the squirrel, you just see them arcing their back. They're just out of there. So the last day, I drilled one, and right at dusk, and it got dark. Like at 6 o'clock, you got plenty of light to shoot. At 6:10, you'd need a flashlight to get out of the blind. It
Sure.
just gets dark. And I said, I really wanted to see an eland. That's the really big guys. But I said, I've never seen one. He goes, well, they're tough. Like no more than 5 minutes later, we hear click, click, click. Their hoofs, their ankles click when they walk because they're so big.
Yeah.
There was 7 of them in a row, and the lead one was this giant bull. And I was standing there watching them. It's like 20 yards. And I just watched him, and he just spooked and ran off. And he looked at me and goes, why didn't you shoot? That thing was huge. I go, because I didn't have a good shot. I needed to get in the lungs. And all I could see was like a gray hide. I couldn't see any delineation of shoulders or ribs. And he was just sick. He said, oh, because they want you to shoot big animals.
Sure.
And he was just sick. He said, man, you missed your chance. And I said, well, whatever. I'm okay with that. Like 15 minutes later, I looked up and there he had come walking right back in. And this time, the angle of the sun, I could see his shoulder. And I drilled him. I shot, but that sucker dropped like 10 inches at the time my arrow got there at 20 yards. And I was a good shot. He only went like 150 yards in a straight
Yeah,
line.
I think you showed me the video a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like every other animal you walk up and you go, man, they look so much bigger standing there. In New Zealand, you walk up, you go, "Oh my God, what did I do?" Because they're huge.
The
They're just
size of a truck.
yeah. He weighed 1,960 pounds with his legs cut off at the knees.
Oh, that's crazy.
So he was the
That's
biggest.
crazy.
Yeah,
So, of all your years bow hunting, what's your favorite game animal? I'm thinking whitetail.
yeah, I'd say whitetail.
Mhm.
Everything in Africa is a lot of fun. I probably, to be honest, it's whitetail for sure, but I just got a thing for squirrels. I like shooting squirrels, but
Yeah, the squirrels in Florida are very anemic. They're about the size of my microphone, so I don't even give them any. I just give them a free
yeah,
pass. So,
we
what's your
our
favorite
gray
setup?
squirrels are all turning jet black here. I don't
Really?
know what happened there.
Yeah. We've got the standard gray squirrel here, but they're just very tiny, like everything else. The deer are anemic, the squirrels are anemic, the pigs are fat, um, black bears are fat, turkeys are weird. They're kind of small. They look scrawny. I mean, they look like they've been beat up. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know what it is, but what's your favorite setup for bow hunting? What's your rig? Your favorite
Right
rig?
now, I'm a longbow guy, but last couple of years, like I hunted with a 53-pound jackknife Ghost
Okay.
in Africa, and I shot through everything. I shoot about a 600 grain day six arrow, and I was using VPA 3 blades over there. Except for the eland, I used a day six. I chickened out. I thought that thing was so big. I thought I want so I used one of them day six broadheads on him from listening to Ethan, Roderick, and Dalton Lewis, how much they like them broadheads, and I got to say it worked really well.
Mhm.
Um, but that's what I shoot. Right, I like at least 55 pounds. I just don't enjoy shooting lighter bows.
Right.
I'm lucky I had a really bad shoulder injury back in the 90s. A truck hood broke off when I tilted it, and I had a gross dislocation of my right arm. And doctor said, you'll never shoot a bow again. And so I just ignored him and instead of getting surgery, I just started shooting. I had to start with a little kid's bow.
Hmm.
I kind of rehabbed it by shooting a bow. And as long as I shoot a bow, my shoulder don't hurt. So I shoot a bow.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I've been shooting right and left-handed. And I have a couple right-handed bows. I got that bear takedown with the 82-pound limbs. And I have a Tolkien whip that's 50 pounds. But I'm really like Kegan McCabe's bows. I like really well. They shoot way out of proportion, to what he charges for them bows.
Mhm.
And the Great Northerns, they're pretty much my favorites. So,
So, Kip, I was going to ask you a question, but I'll wait till you come back.
just coughing here.
That's okay. Coughing's good. We're humans.
Okay.
So, since you started bow hunting, what's your favorite setup? We obviously established the bear takedown.
Well, that's it.
Well, that's
So I
okay.
only have 2 bows, and I did order a ghost jackknife from Great Northern.
Okay.
So it's coming this year.
What's the
But,
specs on that?
Pardon me?
What are the specs on that?
I think it's what, 43 pounds.
43 pounds.
And I don't know, there's not really
Is it a 60-inch bow or
Locust,
56?
locust veneers and Coca-Cola
local-
riser.
yeah, rival.
Mhm.
I don't get wrapped up in the specs because I have him, and I just let him take it for me.
I had her shoot that. I had her shoot that 50-pound Tolkien, and she drew back full draw and anchored and held for like 3 seconds and shot. It's like she could shoot a 50-pound. Well, it wouldn't be 50 at her draw, but I mean a 50-pound bow. So she was probably 46 pounds on her fingers there. She held it
Right
just
on the
fine.
money. On the money.
Yeah, but I have that. I've been one of the Omega bows. But then I have it's a Spirit, and he doesn't make those anymore. But I love that bow. It's a lot lighter than what the Bear is. The Bear, I have the 2 sets of limbs, the 35 and the 45.
Yeah.
Now, I saw Eric at the PBS banquet. Is he just strictly the quiver side of things? The
Eric
Great
Eric
North-
McKee.
Yeah.
Eric McKee is, yeah.
Eric
Who's the-
Reitsma is the bows.
What's his last name?
Reitsma.
Okay. Yeah, I want to get the both of them on together, actually, if I can. So I'm working on that. So we talked about the whitetails. Any out-of-state hunts in the U.S. that you've been on?
Yeah, I go to. I've been to Maine bear hunting.
Mhm.
I used to hunt Ohio because we live right on our last house. At the end of our driveway said "Welcome to PA." We were basically right on the border, and I hunt Georgia. I went down there. I got on Jerry Russell's lease last year.
Right.
Didn't kill anything, but I saw a deer. I saw a hell of a buck down there, and just never got a shot, And I said the pig hunting. I've been pig hunting several times. I haven't connected yet, but it's just tremendous fun walking around that Palmetto Swamp at Fort Stewart. I just love it down there.
It's a lot of snakes there.
Yeah, well, we go in February. Like I said, you get Pointer on there, he'll have you crying. He's a killer, man. He's as funny as just a great guy.
Mhm.
And tremendous fun to hunt with. He's a driver though, buddy. You better be able to walk, keep up with work.
Oh, I got that. I got some good legs.
Yeah.
So are you guys a member of Compton's?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So what?
We're getting to be friends with Sam Barrett. He lives about an hour east of us. And but we haven't been to any Compton events or anything yet. We just support them, good people. It's basically all the same people. And we're hoping maybe to go to their big, rendezvous, whatever they call it, one of these days. But
Yeah, that's my goal when I retire. Yeah.
What's that?
That's my goal when I retire. Start hitting all the shoots.
Yeah.
My wife will
I
never
don't
see
really
me.
care about the shooting part of it though. It's the people, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
We drive. I got in my barn. We had cows. We sold our cows like 10 years ago. And my hayloft's empty. So I go up in the rafters and I can shoot. It's like a 12-foot platform above the barn floor. I have several 3D targets up there, and I go up there and shoot, or we go 7 miles down the road to Sportsman's Club, and there's a 40 target range. We can shoot anytime we want. So I don't get hung up on the shoots at these big events. It's just all the guys. It's like you see, I don't know who said it's like the PBS gatherings, like a family reunion. but you actually like everybody,
Yes, truth. The truth. I mean, it's like I need an extra 2 days. Tell you the truth. We got there at like Thursday late in the day, evening, actually.
Oh,
I
yeah.
needed Tuesday and Wednesday to get to talk to people. You know,
Yeah.
it was it went so fast. I was like, wow, where
That's
did the
what's
time?
nice about ETAR is if you do go for the whole week, you've got all week long to kind of hang out with them, and then you've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can shop, you can shoot, you can do the other activities that are there, but the people are there all the time.
Yeah,
And then
my
you go a day or two early there, and that's where you really get
yeah,
the people.
I totally get it. I mean, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and he's like, dude, you have to get there on Sunday till the following Sunday because people are getting there that early. I was like, it was never like that before, but it is now. So
Yeah.
yeah, when I retire, I told myself when I retire, I'll do that. But I don't like wasting PTO for anything. Um,
Yeah. I'm
but
lucky. I get quite a bit of it sometimes, so
so
that'd be easy.
what's y'all's favorite method of hunting locally?
I haven't hunted locally, so
Well, mostly tree stand. I like sneaking up on them. We live on the river. Now, I used to be able to hunt there, but it's the people that own it close it off to everybody now. But
Mhm.
but right on the river, the airflow is always consistent there. And I've shot, I don't know, a fair amount of deer by sneaking up on them, and that is definitely the most fun. But I'm not against tree stands, and I started saddle hunting a couple years ago, and I really like that a lot too. Um,
Yeah, there's no way
I
I'm
have
getting
to
my
say
old ass in a saddle.
one of the best scent shields he's ever used in the woods has been diesel. He come
yeah,
home from work one day. It's covered, he just stinks like diesel. He's working on engines all day long. And he just grabbed his bow and went across the tracks and went down into the slough and come back about 20 minutes later with a deer. Like,
Well, if you're working in
okay.
diesel, they're kind of used to that smell because of farm equipment.
yeah. Yeah, as I
Yeah,
said, I shot most of my favorite camo is navy blue Cummins polyester work uniform because that's how I shot most of my deer.
yeah, nice. I mean, back in the day, I used to wear a PO coat and blue jeans,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and but I would get up in the pines. They would never see me, and next thing
yeah,
you know, there's an arrow coming out of the pines. So
yeah. I mean, I got some Kuiu stuff. It's nice and it's really
yeah,
nice, but I don't really think it makes much difference. And
yeah. I have it for the extreme weather stuff because I still travel north. So when I'm hunting in upstate New York in November, it's cold as hell and snow, potential snows. So I need some quality gear
yeah,
to make me comfortable. For me to sit in a stand for 6 hours or 8 hours, whatever you want during a rut, I need to be comfortable. So if I'm warm, I'm happy.
yeah.
So
Yep.
I just bought some stuff from Osseo Gear at Kalamazoo. It seems
mhm.
like it's going to be really good stuff.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah.
So tree stands, any other outdoor activities besides Harleys?
We shot competition pistol for years.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I just kind of walked away from that. I've been wrapped up in the bows so much. That's pretty much the Harleys or the longbows and recurves, and that's pretty much it now.
Well, what are you riding? What are you riding now?
I got a 14 Electric Glide Limited,
Hmm.
and in 21 they come out with a Pan America. It's like an adventure bike, and
Yeah.
I rode one of them and I loved that thing. I'm like,
Love that.
I'm buying it. They give me a terrific deal on one. We bought it. And
That is
we have never had a problem with ours. Some people apparently do, but we've never had a problem with ours.
the most comfortable bike ever made.
Yeah, 150 horsepower, goes like a bat out of hell. We told Hercules about it. He had a Harley switchback, Dyna switchback.
Okay.
We rode it over there. Well, his road is sand, and that is a little bit exhilarating riding that big front tire on a sand road, buddy.
Oh yeah.
And I told him, I said, you need to, if you ever see a Pan America, look at it. And he called me after. He said, hey, I found one of them. I'm thinking about buying it. I said, buy it. And last time we talked to him when we booked a hunt for next year, I said, what do you think of that bike? He said, oh my God, I love that thing. He said, I'm going to buy another one. I go, for what? He goes, well, I probably won't buy another Harley, but I'll buy a Jap bike just like that. And I said, well, okay. He goes, I said, what do you need a second one for? He goes, because me and you are going riding when you come over. I'm like, you're on.
That's
They're
awesome.
awesome. Those people, like you leave, they're family, you know. They just
Yeah.
They are.
super nice people and they just go above and beyond to make sure you have the time of your life.
Well, like the guys at Stickball Hunts MX, that's how it is with us. I mean, the owner of the ranch
We would
invited,
really like to get down there. We're gonna book one of those guys. That
do
Poncho.
it, do it, dude. Because the owner, Bildo, him and his wife, he's invited my wife and I to go hang out with them. No
Yeah,
hunting, just chill. Go for a
yeah.
Yeah.
vacation, hang out. I told my wife, I said, let's go, man.
Oh,
Exotic
You went down with
Mexico.
Pat Patterson, right?
Yeah, Patrick
Yeah,
Patterson.
I met Pat down in Sherwood,
Peterson,
Archer
actually.
down in
Yeah.
Roanoke. He's a good guy.
Oh, yeah. He's a killer, too. He's a big time killer.
Yeah, he's a hell of a shot.
Yeah, he is. And he's a fun guy. He's intelligent. It's just he can carry a conversation like anybody else. I've been there twice, okay? And every time I went with the people, it's just like we're brotherhoods. It's just like
mhm.
going with family. It's just never and I was the bilingual guy, so I was the interpreter, and even my Spanish sucked. And
He's like they them or something.
Yeah,
You
something.
right,
bilingual? That means
right.
I think so.
that bilingual.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. And like the ladies cooking in the kitchen, they looked at me like, like the head cocked like a dog. Like, what the hell are you saying? I'm like, so I had to dumb it down a little bit and changed the words up a little bit. I downloaded an app. Thank God I did that. That helped immensely. So I was able to communicate, told them
Communicate, no
exactly what I
problem.
needed. Thank you so much. I love you and all that stuff. And now
Yeah.
they love me. So it's
You're like an
fantastic.
artist or something too, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Take a
yeah.
look at take a look at our son's Instagram page sometime.
I will.
He's a
Yeah, I did the artwork for Compton's last year for one of
yeah,
the
he's a
t-shirts.
our son's a tattoo artist.
Oh, that's
He
awesome.
does oil paintings and stuff too. He's phenomenal.
I've been chasing down tattoo artists lately to see if they
Yeah.
can tattoo over wrinkles. But no, nobody
Yeah,
wants to even
he
touch
will.
me.
He
Yeah, we'll send you a link to his page. You won't believe it when
Oh
you
yeah,
see
send it
it.
to me. Send, for sure. I love that stuff, man. All my kids are tattooed. It was a funny story. My daughter is tattooed head to toe. Okay. So she last baby she had, she got pregnant, huge. I mean, so she had the planets and stars on her gut. So I said, "Oh, wow, look at that! You have the whole universe now." Oh, yeah, that didn't go over well. Sorry, Lauren, but that was funny. Uh, but I'm going to ask you a serious question here. What do you see? What do you see, or where do you see traditional archery going, say 10, 15 years from now? I mean, I think we've hit a wall. I don't know.
I don't know. I think PBS was founded basically because they were worried about target archers taking over the world. And I do agree that you don't need a heavy bow. I know guys that shoot 40-pound bows. I think Marie Sturgis shoots like 30-pound bow,
She's
35-pound bow,
she's a
kills
killing
everything.
machine.
But I do think that target archery and hunting is not the same thing.
No,
And target archery is it's like the opportunity you get. You can target you have endless opportunities to be a target shooter and you get limited hunting times. So people lean that way, but I don't like to see too much of the like target type mentality get into the hunting because there's so much more to hunting than there is just shooting, you know. And uh, shooting heavy enough tackle does make a difference, you know. Like you gotta be a lot more careful with a lighter bow, which a lot of people are way more accurate. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but I just don't want it to take over. You know, I would like to see hunting stay for hunters. You know what I mean?
I
And
get you. I mean, I feel that a lot of bow hunters today, especially today, they've dropped down in weight. They're figuring it out. They're
yeah,
like,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, I started out with a compound, 40 freaking years ago plus at 65 pounds. So, of course, I ordered a 65-pound bighorn, which was a big mistake.
yeah,
If I had hindsight to go back in that time, I'd ordered a 45-pound
yeah.
reefer.
Well,
And I probably,
he wanted to build me a 50, and if I could go back in time, I'd have got that 50. But
Right.
you know, and I would have been fine with it. Um, but yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like most people, I think in the 90s, most people were probably overbowed. I talked to Jerry Brum and I asked for a 60-pound. He goes, "Oh, is this for your wife?" You know, I said, "Well, no." You know, but that was the mentality, you know. And
Yeah.
I don't think bows have gotten that much better. I mean, there's really good bows out there now, but I don't think the performance is that big a difference. People just realize now that you don't need that much, you know.
I
But
th-
like I said, it's just the target shooter mentality, more gadgets and stuff like that. And I don't care what anybody else. I've made a religion out of minding my own damn business, but I just don't want to see it impact the sport. Is what I'm
I
afraid of. It's like with the deluge of crossbows. It's just the easy way out.
sure.
And people, I know, I've
I
heard
do
people
I do
talk.
own one because I had a torn rotator cuff, so I was
Right,
not going to miss hunting season.
right. So I've heard people talk about, you know, they don't think PBS should allow compounds, and I'm like, you can't. That's like the seed for, you know, I started with a compound. You can't just say that you're not a good ethical hunter. You know, there's some good people. Just because some clowns are out there shooting 100 yards and doing unethical crap and with these crazy, ridiculous, expandable broadheads they shoot. And we have a tracking dog. We have a beagle named Skitter. It's a hell of a tracking dog. He tracked his first deer when he only weighed 4 pounds.
Wow.
He was 10 weeks old. He found a doe that a friend of ours lost. And just about every deer we've tracked has been with an expandable broadhead. So, you know, you shoot straight through them with a fixed blade and then you find your deer, you know.
Yeah. I don't care what you hunt with as long as you're ethical about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, Ethics are a broad spectrum of things. I would love to get somebody on here to talk about ethics, but that I don't know where I would find that. But because they're everything, it's an opinion is like an asshole. It's everybody's got one. So
Right.
yeah, I want somebody that has an unbiased opinion on ethics. So that's a challenge for anybody that's listening. If you have this, please reach out to me. Um, so we talked about a lot of stuff tonight. I mean, geez, I mean, we talked about where you see traditional archery. What's in store for you guys besides Africa in 26 and 27?
I want to do a bear hunt.
Okay, that's a good. Man, you got good. Your
So,
vision's great. Where
Yeah.
whereabouts? Where?
I'm gonna take her bear hunting and
not sure where yet.
probably New Brunswick. Probably
Yeah.
either Marchand Mills or your brother's place.
That's Stony Brook.
Um, I got on that KTE hunt up in Saskatchewan this year. That's gonna be a little I'm going there this time by myself, but I'll take her either. Like I said, we went with Marchand Mills. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Mm-hmm.
That was a blast. I saw a ton of bears. I didn't shoot one, but I had 10 opportunities a night. My first day there, I saw one I'll guarantee was over 400 pounds, and I just got it in my head. That's what I want to shoot. And the last day, I did take a shot at one and missed, but I didn't really care because I didn't really want it. I just figured if I don't shoot one, I'll have to listen to everybody. Too bad you didn't have a good time. Well, I had a great time. Terrific bunch of guys. They were all PBSers. Um, one guy shot a 420 or 430 pound bear. Another
That's a
guy
good
shot
sized
like a
bear.
300.
Yeah.
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 Oh, it's huge. Another guy shot a really good one. And like I said, I had a million opportunities, and I could not have had more fun. I was walking out one day, and I called her to let her know how it was going, and I had like a half-mile walk out of the woods, and you go halfway out, it's pitch black, and I don't use a flashlight when I'm walking. You can see the trail easy enough, you know. And if I use a flashlight, then I can't see anything other than where the flashlight is. So I'm walking. I was telling her on the phone, yeah, I saw like 5 bears, and I'm kind of laughing. I walked up past this pine tree and there was a bear sitting under it. That thing just goes woof. And I about jumped out of my shoes, man. I'm laughing my ass off. And she's like, what was that? And I said, I walked right up on a bear. I never saw it.
Yeah.
It was probably a cub or something. I don't know. But I never saw it. But I laughed my head off the whole day. It just was the funniest thing ever.
Well, what's crazy is you're hard of hearing, but you could hear the woof.
Oh, buddy, that was yeah, yeah. It was plenty loud.
It was the right tone.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I hear you. Frequency is everything, man.
Yep.
yeah.
So, Kip, so you're a full-blown bow hunter, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's I have absolutely no intention of ever shooting a rifle. Been there, done that, and didn't like shooting it, so just
Good.
go. That's it.
I really appreciate that, and I admire you for that. Thank you. So, for this is my final question. So, for a young upcoming bow hunter, what piece of advice would you give them in their growth within this sport that we enjoy?
I would say, if possible, seek out an older bow hunter because I've never met any bow hunter that wouldn't just fall all over themselves to help a new guy out.
Right.
And some of my most fun is some of the guys that I've worked with over the years and helped them shoot some deer, now tracking is a blast with that beagle. It's just a riot tracking with
I
that
would
beagle.
imagine. I would
And
imagine.
yeah,
I would say be open to listen to other people, listen to their advice, and try different things. Don't just get stuck in one rut.
yeah,
And
stay off Facebook groups.
Yeah, exactly. I'm too
Yeah.
involved. It's crazy. And it started off for me with social media just to watch what my kids were doing. And I said,
Mhm.
oh, there's something to this. And,
Yeah.
so it went nuts. And next thing you know, I'm getting kicked off Facebook every 6 months. So
Yeah.
I had to calm it down because I didn't realize my mother-in-law was watching me. All these people in my family were watching me that were Christians. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, Lucifer. Yeah, Rich Lopez is Lucifer. So
Yeah.
now it's just basically I just stick to bow hunting and
Some
archery.
of the some of the absolutely ridiculous things people say on there. I can't even believe they're giving it thinking it's good advice. I'm like, geez, lighten up.
Yeah, get off of that. Get off your political steamboat, whatever you're
Yeah.
on.
Get off your butt, get out of the house, and go shoot your bow.
Exactly, for sure. So, guys, I want to thank you so much for coming on board, Kip and Earl Cowher. Uh, you guys rock. I'm glad I got to meet you guys this year at Indy. I'm sure we'll see each other again.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
So, guys, this is going to air next week. So please share, like, and subscribe. The Drop Time Tradition or Drop Time Traditions is really what it is on what the hell is it? YouTube.
Spotify?
On YouTube.
Oh, the YouTube. Okay.
On Spotify, it's called the Drop Time Traditions podcast. Yeah. For a couple of weeks, I was like, what the hell's going on? I'm not getting any hits here. Well, I was on the wrong channel. So, yeah, so I had to start moving things around. Hey, even us OGs have technical difficulties,
Yeah.
but it's all good. But I want to thank you again. Really appreciate it. So, God bless you both.
Right.
And hey, if you can ever make it to the Baltimore shoot, I'm here to tell you it's a fun shoot. It's big.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good about it.
Yeah, check it out. So we'll see you on the next one. And people, will see you on the next one. Have a
Sounds
great
good.
night. Have a great night.
Thanks.
All right, man.